How's it going, everybody? I wanted to do a video about kind of the history of our farm and how we've got to be where we are, and I'm going to call it humble beginnings. And I want to start off with a piece of equipment that I'm standing in front of right here, and that is this 4020. This thing has been on our farm since 1964. Excuse me, it is a 1964 model, but it's been on our farm since 1967. My grandpa bought this tractor when it was 1 or 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, something like that. My brother, whenever he was in diesel school, this was his senior project tractor. He split the tractor in half and redid the whole thing. But I wanted to talk to you about, you might have seen some of our equipment and stuff like that in some of my other videos, but this tractor right here, when we took over the farm, my brother and I, we ran this tractor and pulled a 12-row planter, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit, and we planted 1,000 acres. No cab, no radio, no heat. Well, you didn't need heat. You had the engine blowing hot air on you, but no AC, no nothing. And that's what we planted with. And then we went to, we got the 4630, and then, pulled that same 12-row planter, and then to what we have today with that, with the 1790. But now I just wanted to talk to you guys about how we got started, and the thing is, we did not start out with the equipment we have now by no means. It didn't happen like that. We still have all of my grandpa's equipment, all of Dad's equipment, and now all of our equipment. We never traded anything off. We've always just added. With the way we've expanded, we always kept our older stuff in case we needed to get rid of the newer stuff. We'd still have something to farm with. But no, we didn't start off with the best, or what we have now isn't the best, but it's really good, super good for us. I don't know really how it could get much better for us, but in our needs. But I'm gonna take you over here and show you guys this the combine, the first combine. Well, it's not the first combine we had, but it's the last new combine that we bought. Well, Grandpa actually bought it, but this combine, he ran a 6-row corn head with it and a 16-foot flex head. But we still have it. We still have the corn head and the flex head. But here it is. Hadn't moved in a few years, but it is a John Deere 6600 diesel. It is not turbocharged, but back when my grandpa bought this combine, it was they were farming about 1,500 acres. They had hog operation, which is the foundation for the barn is right there, but the barn blew down, the roof blew off of it. But this combine here is they used to farm 1,500 acres, like I said, with and they cut everything with this thing, and that's why it wasn't uncommon for them to be either shelling corn. Well, it'd be shelling corn. They'd been done cutting beans by then, but shelling corn on Christmas. It's pretty crazy how, you know, now our head is twice as wide as what this combine's head was, and yet covering, no, not really that. I mean, we are covering a lot more acres than that, but you know, there's people that are covering fewer with this, with bigger. But here is our 12-row planter, and we'll use this next year to plant our corn with, because it's set up with the liquid system. But this was the first planter we started with, and I'll come over here and show you guys the our second combine. This combine, it's one of the last 8820s built. It's a green top, and it's been completely rebuilt. It has like almost 6,000 hours on it, but it's been completely rebuilt. The insides had a new engine in it at like, I don't know, 4,000 hours, but it's four-wheel drive, and we pull we'll run it this fall in beans. You'll see it cut beans this fall, but last year, the first year we got it, we ran a 6-row head, and then we had a hard time. You couldn't spin the head fast enough to get your ground speed up enough to keep the combine full. We were having a hard time not crushing the grain with it. But we run this is my 893 corn head. It's got hydraulic deck plates, knife rolls, contour master. It's a really nice head. But this combine, this is our second combine. We ran, last year we ran over 2,000 acres through it. I mean, the paint's faded and all this stuff, but man, that machine with this 30-foot head right here, that machine will flat hog some beans. I tell you what, I mean, you can take that 30-foot head at 4.5 miles an hour, which is pushing a 900 series head, and in 50-60 bushel beans, and that sumbitch will flat get with it. I mean, it won't pull it down at all, and it'll give you one of the cleanest grain tank samples that you can find around. I mean, it's pretty crazy going from that 6600 to this combine, and then to our 9770, which, you know, it's a completely different animal than this one. It's apples and oranges. You can't compare them, but I mean, it does a good job. Both of them, all of them do a good job. But run that 8-row head on it, and here's the 4630. It is going to be repaired this fall. We're coming back. We had to plant just a little dab with it last year, and we're bringing it back home, and spun a main bearing on crankshaft. So it will get, what we're going to do is because it has a 404 in it, we're going to put a 466 in it. We're trying to find one out of a combine to put in it, but you know, going from that 4020 and a 6-row planter, which is way down there in the weeds, I'm not gonna walk all the way down there, but to that 12-row, to this hot rod right here. I mean, you know, we didn't start out with this stuff, by no means. We got it pretty quickly because of the way we've grown, and in the years we've had and been able to be financially sound, we've got it pretty quickly, but we definitely did not start out with it. It has made me appreciate this machine and this tractor so much more. I mean, you can't even imagine how much I love this machine. Coming from what we had to this, and to be honest, that old 12-row with the finger pickups instead of the vacuum and the ground drive, and that old 12-row is still ground driven, but it'll actually lay a better stand of corn down than what that one will. But don't tell John Deere that. But then they'll blame it on me. I'm not doing something right. But no, we've just been super blessed and to have good years and good people to work with, and it's just been, you know, very, very humble beginnings. I mean, and to see how our farm has progressed. We have 2 bins up there that are 2,750 bushels apiece. And when my grandpa put those up way before I was even the idea, his dad, my great-grandpa, told him that he was stupid for building such big bins, that he would never fill them in his lifetime. Well, he since went on to build about another 20,000 bushels of storage, and we fill them twice a year. So, and we're not even really that big. I mean, so you can just see how the things have progressed, and it's just very humbling to have to, you know, start small, and then if it gets big, it gets big. But to start small and you know, and do a good job and work your way up to something instead of just starting off with it right away. Because I don't, you know, something earned is appreciated way more than something given, in my opinion. But you know, it's just when you come out here and you look at these beans, I mean, you see these beans, and they're just loaded. I mean, loaded. It's years, and it's being blessed like this as to why we've been able to grow like we have. I mean, it really has been nothing short of a blessing, that's for sure. But just wanted to do a little video on that, and I actually show you guys the first sprayer we ever had. You ready? Don't get too excited about it, but this hot rod, the Spray Coupe 220. It's got 50-foot booms, and we did have a 200-gallon tank, but we put a 250-gallon tank on it. It's got a Volkswagen motor, and it's a manual. It's a 3-wheeler without power steering, so if you hit a rut or something, it'll break your hands. It's really rough riding, but it got the job done. You know, we sprayed, I can't even tell you how many thousands of acres we've sprayed with that thing. But it's not too bad when you only paid like $2,000 for it. But you can't have everything all at once right off the bat. But no, I just wanted to give you guys a little video and kind of tour of some of the equipment a little bit more, and so you can see how we kind of got started. But we didn't start out with what we have now, I can assure you that. But anyway, we'll catch y'all later. See ya.